Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. Would you please rise for the presentation of the colors by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office and the Frederick County Fire Rescue Service Honor Guard, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem and the invocation. This time we'll have the National Anthem, sung by Angela Spencer of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the invocation by Father Kevin Farmer, pastor of St. John the Evangelist Catholic Church.
As we begin in prayer, I know I don't need to remind all of us that we are in a week of mourning and preparing for a national day of mourning for our former president, George Bush. And not only is it a wonderful opportunity to remember him and to honor his service, a man who had a very lengthy and distinguished career long before he became vice president and president, a wonderful example of civil service and giving our life in service to others. Also an incredible example of unfortunately what sometimes feels like a time gone by where it was a little easier. It's never been easy to work together. It's never been easy to kind of reach across and find consensus and compromise, and it gets harder the more we go on. But President Bush was such an incredible example of working with enemies and friends and always trying to find consensus. And so as we remember him today, perhaps each in our own way, not only our elected officials, but each of us as citizens of Frederick County can find ways to follow in his humble example. And so we pray. Loving God, you have always allowed your people to exercise the gift of leadership. On this day, where Frederick County swears in our county executive and county council, we, her citizens, pause to give thanks that each of us lives in a country where we have a voice in electing those who will lead in our name for the common good of all. Today we give thanks for those who are completing their elected terms. We honor their service, we acknowledge their contributions and their sacrifices. As you bless those who complete leadership, encourage them with the words of St. Paul. For I am already poured out like a libation. The time of my departure is at hand. I have completed well. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Pour forth your abundant blessings on our county executive and members of our county council. Help them to lead and govern justly, wisely, and always with a peaceful heart. Surely at times they may struggle, even stumble. Help them in these times to find consensus, compromise, and unity. And remind them always of the sacred words found in the book of Proverbs. Listen to the advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. May your wisdom always be in their hearts and your richest blessings in the fruit of their works. And we ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Father. You may be seated. And please, let's give a round of applause to the Frederick County Fire Rescue and Frederick County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard and Angela Spencer for participating. And good morning. And on behalf of County Executive Jan Gardner and the members of the Frederick County Council, I'd like to welcome you to the 2018 swearing-in ceremony. My name is Chip Jewell, and I am retired from Frederick County government as the Deputy Chief and Director of the Division of Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services. And it's once again my honor and my privilege to serve as Master of Ceremonies for this event. I would like to introduce several of our guests in the audience and elected officials. Dr. Teresa Albin, Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools. Representing Senator Ben Cardin, Robin Summerfield. Representing U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Juliana Abowitz. Representing Congressman-elect David Throne, Sonny Holding. And Mr. Taylor Donahue, representing Congressman John Delaney. Senator Ron Young. Delegate Karen Lewis. Delegate Carol Krim. From the Board of Education, Liz Barrett. And President Brad Young. Also from the Board of Education, Member-elect Jay Mason and Member-elect Karen Yoho. Are there any other elected officials that were in attendance that we missed on the way in the door? Please acknowledge. Kelly Russell from City of Frederick. And Donna Kazimczak, City of Frederick. Is there another city official? Donna, thank you. Who else is here? And Roger Wilson. And I see somebody else back in the back. To the mayor? I can't. Or to Charlie. I see glasses. I can't tell who's wearing them. Must be Charlie. State's attorney. Okay. Any other officials? Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all very much for attending. Okay, at this time, we would like to have a musical selection, and we're very gratified to have the Frederick Children's Chorus, and they'll be singing I Have a Dream, and they're arranged by Ruth Ellen Schramm. This time I'd like to introduce Sandra K. Dalton, Clerk of the Frederick County Circuit Court, to administer the oath of office to the County Executive.
Good morning. What an honor to be here today. Yes, Commissioner, I knew you then. County Exec, to stay that way. Ms. Gardner, do you have anyone that you would like to come up with you today?
My husband, my daughter, and my sister-in-law are here.
If you would like to join us on the stage, please. Okay, and that microphone is yours so that they can hear you, which is great. If you would raise your right hand, that works. I really don't think the Bible cares what hand it is, but if you would please repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Jan H. Gardner,
I, Jan H. Gardner,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly swear and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and
to
that
the-
I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of County Executive for Frederick County, Maryland,
of County Executive for Frederick County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
That is your oath. You are duly sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Great. Great to see you again, too. My sign buddy.
Oh, there you go.
One more active business. I need you to sign, please, right there under your name. Over here.
Okay.
And if I may take the liberty and the time to present the certificates that I will have for each and every one of you, but with your own names and rank. So we'll start here. On behalf of the Governor's Office, to Jan H. Gardner of Frederick, Maryland. Greeting. Be it known that the people of Frederick County, reposing great trust and confidence in your integrity and wisdom, did on the 6th day of November 2018 elect you County Executive. You are therefore to execute the said office justly, honestly, diligently, and faithfully according to law, and hold the same for a term of 4 years, beginning on December 3rd, 2018, or until you shall be duly discharged therefrom. Given under my hand and the Great Seal of Maryland, signed the Governor of the State of Maryland, witnessed by the Secretary of State on the 27th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2018. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. Are you going to let John take this, or are you going to keep it? Thank you.
Got a lot of stuff there.
I know. It's okay, though.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. It is a wonderful day in Frederick County, and it really is a day of celebration. Elections are always exciting times, and at the beginning of this new term, it is a new day and a new beginning. It's a time filled with hope and optimism for a bright future. I'm truly honored and grateful for the trust and confidence the citizens of Frederick County have placed in me. Serving our community as county executive is a great privilege, and it's a responsibility that I take very seriously. And it's a job that I love. I have the great opportunity and the good fortune to meet wonderful, interesting, and caring people all around our beautiful county. I can truly think of no better way to make a difference to the community that we all love and call home. I want to start off by giving thanks. I want to give thanks to my family, my friends, my supporters, and our community. First, I want to recognize my husband, John. We have been married for 35 years, and believe me when I tell you, he puts up with a lot. John gets to hear every day what is happening in Frederick County, whether he really wants to hear about it or not. I really don't think I could survive a campaign without his support. But what I want you to know most about my husband, John, is that he is all in. He cares about Frederick County as much as I do. So I would appreciate it if you would all join me to give my husband, John, a round of applause. I also want to recognize my 3 adult children, John, Rachel, and Mallory, and their spouses for their support. All 3 of my children grew up with their mom in elected office, which can be a daunting experience, and sometimes for a teenager, an even embarrassing experience. So on the upside, they learned to say thank you to people, including those who made inappropriate comments to them. But most important, they learned that there were other people in the world and issues that were larger than themselves. Now, the biggest influence on my life was my parents, and I really want to thank and acknowledge them, Leo and Eleanor Harinya, who are not here today but are watching on video stream thanks to great technology. From my parents, I've had the great fortune and blessing of unconditional love and have learned generosity, honesty, and hard work. It is that unconditional love from my parents that has allowed me to live a life where I could take risks, be bold, and to step out to run for public office. I also want to thank my campaign team, and there's really more people than I can mention here, but I want to give a special shout out to Mary Ellen Mitchell, who coordinated my campaign. It's an incredible amount of work, and to Charla Worley, who's here today, who has been my campaign treasurer for every election I've been in, and that's really an enormous job, so thank you very much. I'm grateful to county staff, particularly the team in the county executive's office, who could not help but feel the stress of this election and have really worked hard and successfully to keep the trains of county government running on time. So thank you all, and thanks to all of our division directors for a job well done. There are really too many people to recognize, but please know that I appreciate the time, treasure, talent, and support that has been generously provided to me over the years. We are all in it together, and together we accomplish more and will continue to achieve great things for Frederick County. So now the exciting and important work of good government continues. It's time to be bold, innovative, and proactive. It's time to seize the day and seize our opportunities, and I am fired up and ready to go. Over the past 4 years, we've successfully put in place and established our new form of charter government, passed strong ethics laws, delivered outstanding schools, safe communities, more local jobs, lots of infrastructure, and we created a new senior services division and saved citizens in Montague to meet the needs of our growing population of seniors. But maybe most important, we've set a positive tone for county government, embraced and engaged the public, and have been honest and forthright in our daily activities and work. We can be proud, all of us, that Frederick County has a reputation for responsive and transparent government, for a thriving economy, and for an award-winning school system. We can also be proud to be one of fewer than 50 counties nationwide to have earned a AAA bond rating from all 3 rating agencies, reflecting our strong conservative budgeting and our overall good management. Over the past few years, we've increased our reserves by 2%, we've fully funded our pension obligations, we've saved taxpayers over $70 million, which is a lot of money, and we've lived within our means while providing outstanding, exceptional, and effective services to the citizens we serve. We will continue to have thrifty and well-managed government. I look forward to working with our fabulous new county council, who will bring both experience and continuity, as well as new energy and new ideas. Each and every one is committed to working together, to being fair and honest, and to treating people with dignity and respect. So my goal for the future can be summed up pretty simply. It's all about making life better for people. That's what we do in county government every day. The focus is always on people and making sure that everyone has the opportunity to live well and to achieve their dreams. And Frederick County delivers. We have beautiful parks with something for everyone to enjoy. We have one of the best public library systems in the nation, with over 100,000 people visiting one of our branches each month. We have well-maintained roads and bridges. We have water and sewer and trash and recycling programs that are taken for granted because they work so well. Frederick County is without a doubt one of the best places to live, work, and raise a family in the country. And it's a special place because of all of you, the caring and generous people who live here. So over the next 4 years, we will continue to focus on 4 priorities: education, jobs, community needs, and seniors, which will ultimately fall under the umbrella of Livable Frederick, which is our comprehensive master plan that will advance a shared community vision and deliver a bright and prosperous future. Now, education has always been my passion, and we must keep the promise of public education. We know that education lifts our children and their families, our property values, and ensures a well-educated and well-trained workforce that really ensures our long-term economic prosperity. We'll continue to invest in education to make sure we have the best teachers in the classroom and that we provide equal opportunity for all of our students. And over the next 4 years, I am committed to achieve our collective goal to eliminate serious or severe school overcrowding. And we'll get that job done by building needed new schools and by putting strong public policy in place to make sure we prevent the recreation of school overcrowding into the future. Now, residential growth is always a hot topic. It was a hot topic in the campaign, and citizens are right to expect that new housing will be managed well and will be paced with our ability to provide schools, roads, and public safety services. And we know there's some catching up to do. I am confident that working together, this council and I can put in place sound policies to ensure that future growth will be paced with our needs for roads, schools, and public safety services, all the services that growth demands. An overarching goal of my administration will be adopting and implementing Livable Frederick. Now, Livable Frederick is a comprehensive master plan. It puts Frederick County citizens in charge of shaping our future. Livable Frederick considers how people will want to live, work, and recreate into the future, 20 years and beyond. It balances jobs, transportation, health and well-being, and many other factors to deliver a Livable Frederick that we all want. Livable Frederick will serve as a guide to our actions and decisions across county government, but it will also engage our community partners. I'm also committed to bold, proactive, and aggressive action to protect what we love and cherish about Frederick County. Without a doubt, Frederick County residents want and value our rich history, our agricultural heritage, our cultural amenities, and the natural scenic beauty that provides us with respite from our day-to-day hectic lives. But the time is now to protect the things we love about Frederick County. So I'm committed to accomplish this in 3 ways. First, by significantly increasing our investment in agricultural land preservation to permanently preserve and leave a legacy of agriculture to future generations. To create a rural historic preservation program to help protect the historic and cultural amenities in our rural and agricultural communities, and to protect our environmentally sensitive areas like Sugarloaf Mountain and the Catoctin Mountains, while respecting property rights and property owners' economic needs. Now, keeping agriculture economically viable will also be a priority focus, and it may be one of our bigger challenges. In the past few years, our farmers and agricultural community have really experienced a challenge, a combination of low commodity prices and some really bad weather. And it's created economic hardship. And hard work and resilience only goes so far when you are facing global low commodity prices. So why does this matter? Why is it important? As agriculture goes, so goes the economies and the successes of our small towns and rural communities. So what are we going to do? So to sustain agriculture in rural communities, we'll take action to support more options and diversification for our farm operations. And there are opportunities, and we've already seen an expansion of agritourism, as well as wineries and farm breweries, and there's opportunities to grow hops and other new products. So I will be engaging our agricultural businesses, our agriculture boards and commissions, and the best minds and biggest thinkers in economic development to work to ensure the long-term economic vitality of agriculture. As our community grows and prospers, we need to make sure that we leave no one behind. This means providing a diversity of jobs, and our economic development team has really done a good job and been very successful in adding jobs to Frederick County that people can do with a variety of skill levels and interests. And we need to make sure we have a diversity of housing options. We want to make sure that everyone who works here can also live here. We will be proactive to make sure we have housing options for young families and for longtime residents as well. For the first time in the current budget, we dedicated a portion of our existing recordation tax to the Housing Initiative Fund for the creation of affordable workforce housing. We passed a zoning ordinance to allow accessory dwelling units or tiny houses for our seniors and our young people. And we will also soon celebrate the grand opening of 520 North Market Street, where we have 59 workforce rental units, and they're really beautiful, they're lovely, and they represent the best of Frederick County. This is a work in progress and will remain a priority moving forward. We will continue our productive partnership with our nonprofit human service agencies to leverage our resources to make life better for people and to make sure our prosperity lifts everyone. Frederick County is a caring community. We have many people and organizations using their time and talent to help people be successful. I am optimistic that Frederick County will once again lead the way with the opening of a detox facility to provide hope for recovery for people and families suffering from substance misuse and addiction. We're already well on our way, so stay tuned for more on that. Frederick County is a great place to be. It's a great place to live. We lead the way with innovation and education with the new Links program at Frederick High School, and we have nationally recognized Blue Ribbon schools. We have a thriving, vibrant downtown city of Frederick that's authentically hip and historic, and the envy of mid-sized communities across our country. We're on the cutting edge of technology with the implementation of Next Generation 911 that will allow us to get people the help they need in an emergency even faster. We can all be proud that we take care of people and are the only community I know of that provides subsidized assisted living to our elderly residents who need it. And we do that in a financially self-sustaining way. And we will seize the opportunity to be officially recognized as an age-friendly community that fosters the health and well-being of our seniors so they can continue to do the things they value. We can be proud that we have businesses in Frederick County working on the cure for cancer, farmers providing food and fiber to our region and our nation, and technology that will move us into the future. Frederick County is a caring community, a great place to live, work, retire, and raise a family. We can all be proud to call Frederick County home. Our job and our goal over the next 4 years is to make Frederick even better. Our best days are ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive, and congratulations. We're now very privileged to have another musical selection by the Frederick Children's Chorus, Stars and Stripes.
Home
Let's give another round of applause under the direction of Leifer. And thank you so very much. The Frederick Children's Chorus did a great job today, and we certainly appreciate it. This time I'll call to the podium Sandra K. Dalton, Clerk of the Frederick County Circuit Court, who will administer the oath of office to the members of the council.
Okay. I have you in order, starting with Mr. McKay, correct? No? Okay. The other way. Okay. I'm flexible. We'll start with you, Mr. Blue. I'm going to stick them right underneath, if you don't mind. And if you would like to have your family,
My wife, Jeannie.
your wife, Jeannie.
Yep. And my son Matthew and son Joseph.
Oh, okay. Joining us are both sons,
Yep.
Matthew and Joseph. Perfect. If you would raise your right hand for me, please. I, Michael J. Blue,
I, Michael J. Blue,
do declare and affirm,
do declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of County Council Member for Frederick County
of County Council Member of Frederick County,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
There you are. You are duly sworn, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations. If I may get your signature, right in there. Yeah, right
Underneath.
there. Thank you very much, and may I give you your certificate at the end of the event so that everyone gets them together? Perfect. Thank you. And you get to have comments, so let me get out of the way here.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Good morning. I was asked by MC last week and Jessica whether or not this is overwhelming yet, and it's getting there. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming. It's an honor to serve as a county council member for Frederick County. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that helped with the campaign, whether you had signs, whether you were knocking on doors. There's too many people to thank, but you know who you are, and I really do appreciate your support. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my family, especially my wife, Jeannie. I remember when I first told her that I was thinking about running for public office, she thought I was kidding. And I told her that Chuck and I had coffee one morning and we were talking about me running for county council. And she said, "Chuck who?" And I said, Chuck Jenkins, you know, our sheriff. And she said, "Well, that's your problem." So, but thank you, Sheriff Jenkins, for kind of pushing me over the fence. I appreciate that. I'd also like to thank other family members that are here. My mom, Joanne, thank you. My father, Thomas Blue, and my older brother, Tommy, who are looking down, and I'm sure that they're smiling right now. I know they would both be so proud. My brother David and my sister Kathy are watching on TV. They couldn't be here. My brother Danny is here. Danny, love you. My sister Marianne is here, and I have to give a little special praise to Marianne because she acted as the treasurer for our campaign. And if you want somebody that's going to be a stickler with numbers, that's the woman you want right there. I would try to just tell her, don't worry about it. We'll pick that up later, and she wouldn't have anything to do with that. So you saw Matthew, my son. He was in charge of the signs. Did a fantastic job. If anyone saw the big blue signs out in District 5, that was all because of Matthew. Our son Joseph is here. He came up on stage. I would also like to thank some members of the Hogan team, Kathy Azali, Joe Parsley, Jimmy Trout, Phil Dacey's here with us, Danny Farrar. Not only did they support me, but I made some friends along the way. I'm looking forward to starting tomorrow, getting the work for the county council going. I know that we will have some challenges and we won't agree on all the issues, but we will work together in a courteous and respectful manner. Even though our approaches may differ, I'm confident that these county council members are committed to what they are doing and they want good, effective governance for Frederick County. I've been saying this for a number of months, that effective and responsible county government are what the citizens of Frederick County expect and deserve. And I've said this before, that I don't consider this council to have anything to do with just me. It has to do with all of us. It's not about Mike Blue, it's not about Jessica, it's not about Kai Hagan, it's about the council working together and how we function as a council to do what is right for Frederick County. I love this county. I've lived in Frederick County for almost 50 years, and I'm honored to be part of Frederick County's rich history, and I look forward to contributing to Frederick County's bright future. Thank you very much.
Welcome Mr. Phil Dacey to the podium. And would you like your family to join us, please?
Yes, my wife and my daughter, Kira and Harper.
Aren't they beautiful today? Much older than the last time I swore you in. Welcome. Get you to raise your right hand, please. I, Philip Dacey,
I, Philip Dacey,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of County Council for Frederick County, Maryland, according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
You are duly sworn, sir. Beautiful. Beautiful. I need a signature, if I may, please. Get in there. Beautiful family. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. And at this time, Mr. Jerry Donald. Whoop. Oh, my apologies. I know this. You even gave it to me. Pardon me.
All right. Well, good morning. Thank you all for being here. An old man was lying on his deathbed next to his friend. He knew he only had a few hours of life left. He asked his friend for a voter registration form. His friend said, "You've been Republican all your life. Why would you want to change your party now at the end of your life?" The dying man replied, "Because I would rather lose one of them than one of us." So this story may be apocryphal, but it isn't too off from the truth in these partisan times. Unlike the dying man in the story, we must put partisanship aside here at the local level. In fact, in this election, the voters in Frederick County and across Maryland spoke loud and clear. They split their tickets, voting for both Republicans and Democrats, and rewarding candidates who ran for office and who had demonstrated that they could work together for the benefit of all citizens. I am honored and humbled to have been entrusted by the people of Frederick County to represent their views on the 2nd Frederick County Council. We have big issues facing us in Frederick County. They are issues that I heard at thousands of doors all across Frederick, from Point of Rocks to Thurmont and everywhere in between. They're quality of life issues. How long is my commute to work or my drive to town going to take? What's going to be built on the lot next to town? How can we keep Frederick County safe from crime? And how do we best educate our students? And will I be able to afford to continue to live here? We have so much going for us in Frederick County: an engaged, diverse, skilled population, wonderful municipalities, great schools, amazing history, farms, mountains, valleys, rivers, and lakes. In fact, Frederick County is so beautiful that, if you think about it, every president since FDR has come here regularly to get away. All of us here are the lucky ones because we have inherited this thriving community. But now all of us in this room are tasked with the responsibility to keep what we have here in Frederick County and challenged with making it even better. As I have said, the issues we face are big ones, important ones, ones that will affect what this county will look like for our children and our grandchildren. We won't always agree with each other. That is democracy. That's why there's 7 of us up here, each with our own opinions, our own visions, and unique voice. But while I won't always agree, I will pledge that I will always bring my honest opinion forward. I will serve with integrity, and I will engage civilly with my colleagues and the public. I want to take this opportunity to thank my family, friends, and everyone who supported me, who are here, and especially those who didn't, but are here because they care about our community. I look forward to working together with my colleagues up here to preserve, protect, and advance what we have been entrusted with over the next 4 years. And now, I will continue with the advice of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who said, "Be brief, be sincere, be seated." Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Jerry Donald to come forward and invite the family to come up also. Just remind me to get out of the way. And Dad, this is awesome. Thank you. I can get you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jerry Donald,
I, Jerry Donald,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and will to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
without
partiality or prejudice, execute the office
of
County Council Member for Frederick County
County Council Member for Frederick County,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
You are duly sworn, sir. Congratulations. I may get you to sign. I know I wrote your name. Just sign right there for me. Perfect. Thank you so much. Let me just.
She didn't have the name written down.
I know.
I think she's still waiting to see if more votes were coming in yet.
This woman is glad that's over. There you go, sir.
When I'm involved, you don't want to count things too early. It is interesting, because I heard you with Jan, you know, it's duly that it's done on November 6th, and I wonder if mine has the same date as everybody else's. They all won on election night. I say, what's the sport in that? But I do want to thank everybody here today. Thank you for coming out and participating in part of Frederick County and its history. I want to especially thank my wife and my daughter and my father for being here, and my other daughters who are not here but helped with the campaign. They're extremely important to the success I have. I want to thank all the people who put up signs for me, who were willing to talk to their neighbors and support me. And it's great that I can get support in Frederick County to try to move things ahead with everybody else. 4 years ago, things were a little different. My mother has passed since that time, and the families have changed, but we've tried in the last 4 years to move Frederick County forward. You know, my daughter at the University of Maryland studies government. And she told me something interesting. She said that people from around the world actually come to the United States to study, not our national government, but they actually come to look at local governments. It's one of the things that, if done right, is sort of a beacon for other people around the world, how to run things responsibly and effectively. And that's what we've tried to do. Whenever I come to the Weinberg Center, it was the Tivoli when I was a little kid, I like to look around and note what a beautiful building it is. It's a beautiful public building. It's what happens when people have vision for the future. And this building is a testament to that. It could have been gone, but it's here. And when you have vision for the future, when you want to build beautiful parks for people to enjoy, schools, we're doing a great job on building schools, but they should be beautiful schools. It's a public building. Often in a town, it's the biggest, best public building that you have. And if you know much about schools, they're not just for the kids who are there during the day, but evening activities. We build oversized gymnasiums now for the community to be involved with. They should be beautiful, and they should be a part of the community, because that's what turns a bunch of houses into a community. Are places to go and things to do and be a part of, the arts, things like that. They're incredibly important. And it's really been great to be a part of that, of supporting these things and trying to move the county forward. And now we have a new council, and you know, I think Mike and Phil were right. We will disagree at times, but we don't have to be disagreeable. We should listen to each other, as they said. And I think we all want to move Frederick County forward. Maybe we look at things in different ways, but that's a goal for everybody, I think. And we'll work together, and we will reason together. And I think 4 years from now, Frederick County will be an even better place. Thank you.
And at this time, Ms. Jessica Fitzwater. I don't mind one bit. And we should invite your family.
My mom and dad and my husband and my son Jonah.
Aw.
You may have heard a couple times today already.
Thank you very much. If you would repeat after me. I, Jessica Fitzwater,
I, Jessica Fitzwater,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
supporting the Constitution and laws thereof,
supporting the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
execute the office of
County Council for Frederick County, Maryland,
County Council for Frederick County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
You are sworn, ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations. She did good. Aw. And if I could get you to sign for me, right in between there. Great, thank you.
For those of you who don't know, my father, David, works in the box office here at the Weinberg, so when Jonah comes to visit him, there's usually nobody here, and he has the run of the place, so I think this is a little bit different for him than when he's normally in the Weinberg Center. I am so honored and excited to have the opportunity to serve in a second term on this Frederick County Council, and very grateful that the voters had faith in me to send me here once again. I'm very proud to represent other young women and young families and all of the residents of Council District 4. I'm also truly honored to have the opportunity to work again with my colleagues, Council members Keegan-Ayer and Donald. We had the a great adventure of getting this charter government started, and it's been really a pleasure to serve with them, and I think we've had the opportunity to accomplish a lot. And very proud to continue to work with County Executive Jan Gardner. I can't speak highly enough of her leadership for our county, and very grateful that we have the opportunity to work with her again. Our new council members are going to be such an asset to this group, and as has already been mentioned, I really think we are the team that's going to help move Frederick County forward to maintain the progress that has been made, but also face some of the opportunities and challenges that will be here before us. Over the last 4 years, as has been mentioned, we've made investing in public education and public safety two of our biggest priorities. We've made sure to look out for the growing senior population in our community while making progress on areas like affordable housing and several environmental issues as we look at how the county is going to grow in the future. But we do still have work to do to make sure that Frederick County continues to be the amazing special place that it is. Affordable housing continues to be the #1 barrier for over 1/3 of our families in Frederick County to be able to really have a budget to survive here, to work and live here. And that's has been and will continue to be one of my priorities. And I look forward to working with my colleagues on that issue as we move forward. We have to work on our school overcrowding issue and make sure that we have a true vision for how Frederick County should grow in the future. And I, as many of us are looking forward to seeing Livable Frederick move forward and continuing to hear from the public on that great initiative. We do have transportation challenges, and making sure that our growing senior population and those new to Frederick have all of the opportunities that we want all of our citizens to have. But this is the team to face those challenges and opportunities, and I truly believe we can do it together. But we need your help too. Please, now that the election is over, don't go away. Please stay involved and stay in touch with us, and make sure you send us emails, come to our meetings, let us know what your priorities are. Our decisions will be so much better if we hear from you and we're able to consider all of your viewpoints as we make those decisions moving forward. Before I finish, I do want to make sure I thank a few people. Of course, everybody who helped volunteer for my campaign this time around, my campaign manager, Tori Venable, and my treasurer, Chelsea Kadish, who were such a dynamic team and really helped me keep my sanity along the campaign trail this time. Most of you can tell my son's only 2.5, so I was not a mom the first time I ran, and that certainly added its own level of challenges to running this time, and having the support of such a great team made that really possible. I want to thank both my mom and my dad who are up here, Carol and David. From a very young age, they instilled the importance of public service in me, and I think that's a huge part of how I ended up here today. My husband, Gerald, who has to put up with my crazy schedule, and of course, my beautiful son, Jonah, who's just the cutest ever. I especially want to thank, of course, all the voters that had the confidence to put me here again. And lastly, we have such a fantastic staff here at the county. I know that County Executive Gardner spoke some of her staff, but our council staff is very small, but very mighty, and they have worked incredibly hard over these past few years as we've started charter government, but also these past few weeks as we transitioned into this new council. We know some of the races weren't decided right away, so some of the things had to be done on a very, very tight schedule, and we really appreciate all of their hard work. So my final message is just stay in touch, stay involved, and make sure that we can all continue to be proud of our Frederick County. Thank you.
Joining me at the podium next, Mr. Kai Hagan.
I'd like to have my wife and my mother and my sister come up.
Wife, mom, sister.
That might take a moment.
That's quite all right. Okay. If I could get you to raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Repeat after me. I, Kai Hagan,
I, Kai Hagan,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
execute the office of
County Council Member for Frederick County, Maryland,
County Council Member for Frederick County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
Congratulations, you are
Thank you
duly
very much.
sworn. Thank you. If I may get your signature.
Here.
Yep, please. Perfect, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for coming. I do want to thank my wife, Kirsten. We've been married 38 years, and she's put up with a lot that's, well, just being married to me, but also being married to someone who has been so actively engaged in our civic life and the schedule and the meetings and the networking and all the extra unusual hours that go into that. But also to my mother, who is probably as responsible as anybody else for the fact that any of that is true, because she had me handing out political leaflets and being in campaign parades when I was as early as 10 years old, and growing up in a house where people talked about politics and issues and civic life and candidates and campaigns. It seemed normal. It's always seemed odd to me that in so many houses It's not always normal, though I'm very appreciative of the fact that we had such a high turnout in this election, that voters are paying attention, that people are getting engaged. We live in a wonderful, beautiful, outstanding county, and I think most of us know it and appreciate it, but there are challenges and opportunities ahead, and they're significant. We have growth pressures, global issues, local issues. There are a lot of challenges. It's tempting to list them, but I won't even bother. Other people have referred to some of them. And it's our job as a county council and working with the county executive and county government and county staff and the public to do the best job that we can to advance Frederick County forward in dealing appropriately and effectively with those challenges, taking advantage of as many as we can to turn them into opportunities, which they really, really are. And so I just want to end on one note, and that is we are elected officials. We get referred to that way. And I very much appreciate the people of Frederick County giving me a second opportunity to serve the people of this county. But we are elected representatives. We are elected to represent our community, everybody. And I think this is a council that's going to do that and do that well, work together well in a collegial, constructive, and productive way. But what we need, and Jessica mentioned it as well, and I just want to echo that and emphasize it, is we need everybody who pays any attention and cares about our community to stay involved and connected, to watch what is going on, to think about the issues and the choices that we make, to let us know what you think, to come to public meetings and to public hearings, to volunteer for boards and commissions, for us to work as well as it can. It'll be in large part because of the public, because of the citizens, because of the voters and families and everybody else of Frederick County. You're some of them. I hope all of you and the people you know will stay as engaged as you can in our local government, and I thank you for the opportunity to be part of that.
Okay. MC Keegan-Ayer, welcome to the podium. May I have family come up?
No, we'll leave them in the audience.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you, and congratulations.
You get the whole thing.
Wonderful. Either or, yes, thank you. If you would please repeat after me. I, MC Keegan-Ayer.
I, MC Mary Catherine Keegan-Ayer,
Thank you for that. Do solemnly declare and affirm under the penalties of perjury
do solemnly declare and affirm under the penalties of perjury
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
execute the office of
County Council Member for Frederick County, Maryland,
County Council Member for Frederick County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
You are duly sworn.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you. Sharp Russell.
And I have to sign something?
Yes, you may right there.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on, so she has to point it out to me.
Right there. That's okay. Thank you. Always wondered what MC stood for.
Now the secret is out. MC stands for Mary Catherine. I want to thank all of you who are here today. I look out in the audience and I see faces of many people. 4 years ago, I didn't know you that well. I do now. And I appreciate all the assistance and the help you have given the first county council as we struggled to get our bearings. That's going out to county staff because you watched us stumble many times and you never criticized, you just kept helping. I also want to thank everyone who's here today, everyone who has supported the council for the last 4 years as we laid the groundwork under our new county government. I want to thank all of those who supported all of the candidates who ran. This is really hard. It is not fun to get out there and knock on strangers' doors day after day and ask them to support you when many times they don't even know what it is you're doing. So please, thank you to all of those folks who supported all the candidates. I want to thank my husband, Brent, and my children, Alex and Bridget, who are both here today, and my son, Brendan, who was unfortunately unable to join us today as he was able to 4 years ago. The people in our family are the ones who know us the best. They know our warts, they know our flaws, they know the times that we're up, and they know the times that we're down. And they will be the ones who help us survive these next 4 years. My thanks wouldn't be complete without thanking the staff, both the staff at the county, the regular county staff, and the staff from the county executive's office, but also our county council staff who have worked diligently, particularly over these last few weeks, to pull this entire affair together. Look around, enjoy the festivities, and remember, please thank them for their work because this was not easy either. Their efforts have gone forward for the last 4 years and made us look good, even when it appeared we were determined to not help out. So thanks to each and every one of you. I also want to thank Jerry Donald and Jessica Fitzwater for the cohesiveness and support that they have shown in supporting the council over the last 4 years. Sometimes it was tough, but we held together and we supported each other as we navigated through this first term in office. 4 years ago, several of us stood on the same stage and took the very same oath. We were full of hope. We had grand visions of the great things we would accomplish. Now we stand here today, 4 years later. We're 4 years older. Some of us have had additions to our families. Some of us have losses in our families. But we are hopefully 4 years wiser. We have some battle scars, but we are much better at understanding the magnitude of the responsibilities of the office we have just taken. We have our challenges, and we are determined that we will persevere and succeed. The second council holds so much promise. I have had the honor and the privilege of being able to sit down with our new council members and speak somewhat in depth with what they would like to achieve in these next 4 years. I am excited about the potential for this next chapter in Frederick County government. Each of our members, both the current ones who are outgoing and the incoming, have brought their own set of unique experiences, their own history and their background to this council, which will help us better represent all the residents of this county. I am hopeful and I am excited to get to work with my new colleagues, tackling all the issues that are sure to come before us. 4 years ago, Jan Gardner, Jerry Donald, and Jessica Fitzwater and I stood here and took our oath of office, surrounded by our family and friends, and we made a commitment to the people of Frederick County. Today, the 4 of us, as well as the 4 new members, stand before you making that same commitment to do our absolute best each and every day to make Frederick County the absolute, positive, best place to live, work, raise a family, and grow old. 4 years ago, all 3 of my children were here. Today, I'm one son short. He's in the Navy, somewhere aboard a submarine. But I still want to work to make sure that Frederick County is a good place for him to come home to. I want the same for each and every one of your children and your grandchildren. And I know that working together, we can do just that. So in closing, I would like to quote from former President George H.W. Bush. I did not realize he was going to be passing this weekend, so it's somewhat poignant that I would have pulled this out. And I'm taking something from his 1989 inaugural address, and I'm going to tweak it slightly. He stated, "Some see leadership as high drama and the sound of trumpets calling. And sometimes it's like that. But I see history as a book with many pages. And each day we fill the page with acts of hopefulness and meaning. The new breeze blows, a page turns, and the story unfolds. And so today, a new chapter begins, a small, stately story of unity, of diversity, of generosity, a story shared and written together. Today, each of us together begins this next chapter in Frederick County's story, a story blessed with rich history, and with your help and with the help of my fellow council members, a story of a bright future. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. McKay. Welcome to the podium.
Let's empty out that second row
Can we
here.
have, empty out the second row. Let's bring them all up.
I have my wife Pam and my children Jennifer and Michael, Melissa, Matthew, my grandchildren, Riley, Barrett, Hunter.
Wow. Blessed
whole crew.
are you. Future, yes. That's wonderful. If you would please repeat after me. I, Stephen McKay,
I, Stephen McKay,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
do solemnly declare and affirm,
under the penalties of perjury,
under the penalties of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
execute the office of
County Council Member for Frederick County, Maryland,
County Council Member of Frederick County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
You are duly sworn.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir and family. Aw. Pop, you missed one. Melt my heart. I knew that was going to happen. If I could get you to sign right there, sir. Very good. Everyone has been sworn in, no one sworn out. You get the honor of me messing up the podium. And final remarks, sir.
Well now, thank you all for being here. You know, for the last few weeks I've been telling my wife Pam, what have I gotten myself into? It'll be good. Really looking forward to it. We're looking forward to getting to work and working with the new council members and with the County Executive Jan Gardner. I want to take these few moments just to say some thank yous. I want to first of all thank the voters of District 2. You honored me with your trust and your vote, and I promise not to let you down. So thank you very much. I want to thank my wife Pam. She's put up with a lot during this process, and she's going to have to put up with a lot more in the next 4 years. So thank you in advance. I want to thank my daughter, Jennifer. She's my treasurer. Couldn't have done it without her support, so thank you. I want to thank my son, Matthew, because I wasn't there as much for him, so I appreciate your patience, Matthew. So thank you very much for that. I want to thank my grandchildren for being here, Riley and Barrett and Hunter. Hunter wants to join me right now. They don't know I'm doing this, but Michael and Melissa, could you stand for a moment? So I want to thank my son Michael for doing some yeoman's work in terms of helping me with campaign signs. But I also want to thank him, and maybe you'll all thank him for, he'll be he'll be reporting for duty in the U.S. Navy on the 11th, and my daughter Melissa is currently on duty with the U.S. Coast Guard. So I want to thank them. I want to thank my campaign team. I had a small brain trust. My campaign manager, Robbie, Kenyon, and Greg, along with Jim and Diana. You gave me sound advice and your judgment through this process. I didn't always agree with everybody, but I always listened, and I always appreciated your help and support. So many volunteers and supporters to thank you, to say thank you to. In terms of, helping with door knocking at polling sites, with signs. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Stan. You hosted gatherings in your homes. Just providing your time, your money. I wouldn't be here without all of you. So thank you all very much, everybody in the community who supported me. Through this process, I would receive notes of thanks and encouragement, and those meant so much to me. I've got them on my desk still. I've saved every one. This is a daunting process. You get a little tired, you get a little down sometimes, you question, why on earth are we doing this, right? But then I would see those, and they would always lift me up and keep me going through the process. So I really appreciate all of those, so thank you. I guess just lastly, I knew this would be the hard part. Okay. I just want to thank my mother and father. It's been a tough couple months. All the best parts of me that got me where I am here are because of them. So Mom and Dad, thank you. Thank you.
This time I'd like to call Rabbi Ari Plost, Congregation of B'nai Abraham, for the benediction.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we pause at this moment of new beginnings with our hearts uplifted and our spirits unafraid. May those who serve in representative government of Frederick County always feel your guiding presence of your hand and your heart. We know those who carry on this noble pursuit of public service do so at a time of division and difficult rhetoric in our country. Even among our own neighbors, we can have a tendency in moments of heated debate to see one another as adversaries, not sharing necessarily a shared purpose, perhaps even seeing one another as seeking to doing harm to our own selves. But those who are hurt the most from our cynicism suffer in darkness. And so, in this season of many lights, O source of light, show us how to see one another as more fully created in your divine image. Illumine our paths to work together. Shine our light for those who need it most. And together let us offer. Amen.
Today, Frederick County completes its first 4 years under charter government. It has not been without challenges, but transition has gone very well. The leadership of our county government sworn in today will continue to refine and define our future. They represent the executive branch and the legislative branch of our government. But they cannot function alone. Each of us are a vital part of Frederick County. We must provide input. We must be involved and play an active role in the future of our county. Together with our leadership, we are Frederick County. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the 2018 to 2022 County Executive and County Council for Frederick County, Maryland. If they would please step forward. County Executive Jan Gardner, Councilman Michael Blue, Councilman Phil Dacey, Councilman Jerry Donald, Councilwoman Jessica Fitzwater, Councilman Kai Hagan, Councilwoman MC Keegan-Ayer, and Councilman Steve McKay. On behalf of County Executive Jan Gardner and the members of the County Council, I want to personally thank each of you for attending today and watching our swearing-in ceremony. Thanks to the Weinberg Center. Let's give them a big hand. They did a lot of work around the clock to get this done. Our video services and county staff that did a lot of work to make this happen today. Let's give them a round of applause. And again, thank you in the audience and you watching on TV for your attention. For my next note. And you're all invited to Winchester Hall for a reception, so please attend. Have a happy and safe holiday season. Thank you so very much.